New product time here, and I've got the new Srixon Z565 driver in my hands today here in the studio. I'm Mike Newton. I'm going to give my honest thoughts and feedback on this new driver from Srixon, which does look very nice. First impressions, looks lovely. A little bit of tech behind this. Obviously this is taken over from the 545 driver that Srixon launched for the last couple of years. Probably the feedback they got on that was good driver, wasn't quite the hottest in ball speed off the face compared to other drivers on the market, and maybe not the most forgiving either. So I think Srixon have learnt from this, and they brought out the 565, which is packed with a little bit more technology here. What we're seeing here is this, what they're really sort of branding now is this ripple effect. So ultimately you've got some like lines across the back of it here, just to quote exactly what they call it. Yeah, that's it, a power wave sole, which basically gives, as the ball is being struck, it gives like a springy trampoline sort of effect on the ball to try and really maximise ball speed. They've also got a cup face technology here, again trying to improve ball speeds across the face to make it more sort of forgiving. And then also they produced a lighter crown, which again you've seen a lot of the brands do this, which is saving sort of 4 grams of weight and repositioning that in a different area of the club. Again, trying to improve MOI and forgiveness across the face. So first impressions, looks lovely. It's a very classic sort of look as last year's was. So it's a very sort of simple shaped head, no alignment aid at the top, which some people like, some people don't. Bit of mixed reviews on that. Again, changeable hosel here, so you can really dial in sort of loft and face angle to suit your desired sort of ball flight that you're looking for. As standard, and you sit it down, it does sit, the 565 version does sit slightly toed in on a standard setting, so it is a little bit more draw biased, but they have also launched this year, and they sort of did this in the last previous model, a bit more limited really, but this is now widely available, is a 765, which is a slightly more compact head, very neutral sitting, so maybe for the player who likes that smaller look, very square, slightly deeper in the face sort of appearance there. I'll do a separate video on that review for you guys, so go and check that out. So what we're going to do today is going to hit some on GC2, got HMT, I've got my stickers on the face here, so we can get some proper data off the launch monitor. We'll give you a little bit of feedback of how it feels. This Srixon are sticking with the Miyazaki graphite shafts here, which have been extremely popular, very good performing golf shaft. They do these in a lot of different options. They're all the same colour, but they've all got slightly different names depending on the sort of flex kick points and weights. So it's a little bit confusing. If they made them different colours, I think it'd be a lot easier for maybe the consumer to sort of differentiate between them all. But they're all this orange colour, but they all perform slightly different. So it's a little bit tricky, maybe just get your head around initially. But and they obviously all got these like Japanese sort of names here. I'm just looking at them all in the shaft in my bag here. So I'll probably again do maybe a separate video of the different shafts and maybe what is more suited or one you might want to look for yourself. But I say what they do really nicely, which does make it quite clear, is that each of these Miyazaki shafts have an international flex code. Just about to see that there. So this one is 4466. So basically what it does, it gives you a flex every 10 inches down the shaft. Just makes it a little bit easier for you to work out, because obviously these get stamped with either stiff or an X, but some play different to others. Some are stiff in the tip, some are stiff in the butt section. So the international flex codes helps you to understand where is stiffer in the shaft. So I think from experience, number 3 is a regular flex, number 5 is a stiff flex, and number 7 is extra stiff. So you can see this one plays sort of 4466, so sort of maybe between regular and stiff in the butt end, and then between stiff and extra stiff in the tip. And this is actually stamped with a stiff flex, so 6S, 6 stiff there. So that just gives you a bit of an idea, but as I say, the different shaft options are there suited depending on your delivery and speed and spin numbers, etc. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to hit a few with this. Let's give you some feedback of how it sort of feels. Okay, just before we hit some shots, I'm just going to give you a little view from the playing position as it would sit behind the golf ball. As you can quite clearly see here, it's a very classic round pear-shaped sort of driver head shape here, with no alignment aid on the top of the club, as you can see from this sort of angle here. So Some people do like that, some people do like an alignment aid here. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I know where the middle of the club head is, so it doesn't affect me, but a very sort of classic sort of shape of head here as you look at it from this angle. So you can see there it's got grooves like it did in last year's model here. Very debatable on what that actually does. I don't think it provides any sort of grip or anything. No spin on the ball's not on the club face long enough really with the driver. But yeah, real sort of classic look behind the ball. Yeah, that feels really solid. Quite a loud sound to that, but that felt really solid. That was 301. Quite happy with that as an opening shot. Yeah, spinning at 2,100. Which is really good for me. Me personally, I do struggle a little bit with my spin number. I always trying to struggle to get it down a little bit, but that is a good low number for me, which is probably why I've hit it around that sort of 300 mark here. Yeah, it feels good. That, like I say, a little bit loud on the sound, but it's always a bit louder because we're indoors in the studio. It echoes a little bit. But yeah, I'll take that one as the first go. Let's see if I can hit another one similar. Just peeled that off a little bit to the right there. Slightly toe strike. Let's get out there at 289. Didn't quite get that as good as the first one there. Good spin number again, 2-4. Considering I had a little bit of cut on that, that was still a good sort of spin number there. Right, I'm going to hit a batch of shots just off camera and I'll be back shortly with some numbers. Just a bit of a heel one there. Right, okay, so I've hit a batch of shots with that. I've hit a couple of strikes not in the centre, which is always good when testing. Let's just see how this ball speed, how much it drops off. I've hit a couple, that last one was very much a heel strike there. It'd be interesting to see maybe where that sits. Couple a little bit low in the face on the strikes, but all in all felt pretty good. Liking the look of it, maybe just not quite sure on that close sitting position, doesn't quite suit my eye. But having said that, I have got options here to open that club face up, so I could get it to a position where it would please my eye. So that's the beauty of these adjustability, is you can really dial in this sort of loft and, more important, maybe that face angle, depending on what you like to sit and look at. The 565 head is, even though it's the bigger one of the two, it doesn't look huge when you sit it down by the golf ball. It's a very classic shape here. Let's have a quick look at some numbers and see how it's performing. Okay, so there's the shot dispersion there. You can see I've just had a couple little pushy ones, just an odd pull one, but generally that sort of batch in the middle there, hitting fairway quite comfortably. That just gives you a little shot dispersion ring on the shots I've hit. Let's just have a look at some numbers in detail. Okay, so yeah, pretty consistent on club head speed at 111. Ball speed at, well, yeah, really, I'm quite happy with those consistency of numbers. As I said, you know, I did hit a few, not quite, what felt not quite sort of middle there. And the drop-offs aren't that big. That last one was probably the worst strike I hit, actually, and that was 156.8. One before it was a fairly decent connection there, so it's only about 5 mile an hour drop-off there, which is pretty good, I think. Averaging on the smash at 142, so possibly need to do a little bit of delving into shaft there, maybe just try and get that number up a little bit more efficiently, maybe look at strike a little bit as well. Launching at 10.8 on average. This is great. This is quite impressing me because as I say, I struggle to keep this number down. So that's quite a good number for me, which is helping me to sort of peak out a little bit of distance on my shots here. So peak height 30 yards, descending at 38. So it's coming in pretty hot as it comes into land, which is good. Average carry 269. So just peaking out there at 275. And then total distance 294. So yeah, quite decent numbers there. Maybe just want to try and get that efficiency smash factor up a little bit more. Possibly have a little look at a few different shaft options there. But all in all, felt really solid. I'm very happy with those numbers, to be honest. So there I have it, the review of the Srixon Z565 driver, all done. Great driver, love the look of it. As I say, maybe just need to look at the face angle for myself. Love the shape of it though. Shaft options galore, should I say. So I probably need to spend a little bit of time and delve into a couple of little options here. I might do a separate video on that just to go through that with you guys. Numbers wise, quite impressed with that. For me, I say the spin numbers really good. So quite impressed the first initial testing on that. And the ball speed definitely seems pretty good compared to last year's. I might do again a comparison against last year's model, which is the 545. I'd imagine this is going to be a bit hotter off the face here, which is what we want really. As I say, they do a 745 head here, which is slightly smaller, compact head. So again, I'll do a video on that. So hope you like the video, guys. Let me know what you think of the new Srixon Z565 driver. Is this something you'll go out and test? Have you had a Srixon driver before? Let me know what your thoughts are. Please comment, please hit the like button, share it around and subscribe. And we'll see you all very soon.